Right now, there's probably people thinking, why has Berryman released a video during the week? Well, it's because this isn't a film. But because I'm doing Infinity War and Endgame, it's only fair that I do DC's version. Yes, DC did their version of Infinity War Endgame. They did Crisis of Infinite Earths. I'm not on about the DCEU on the big screen, I'm on about the Arrowverse that did it on the small screen on the CW network. It was a mammoth undertaking, but it shouldn't be forgotten. So one, I'm praising the show, but I'm also going to point out what's wrong. So I'm Berryman81, and this is 10 Things Wrong with Crisis on Infinite Earths. Crisis on Infinite Earths is an Arrowverse crossover event and features episodes of the television series Supergirl, Batwoman, The Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, and also Black Lightning. It was broadcast in December 2019 and January 2020. It tells the story of the Anti-Monitor making his move and actually destroying all life in all universes. So the Monitor brings forth 7 Paragons with the power to save the multiverse. Although it's a TV show, the whole thing was like more of a mini movie, and it was critically praised for its scope, ambition, and also all the cameos, but it does have some things wrong, so overall it did have a mixed reaction. So what do I find wrong with it? Well, here are 10 things wrong with Crisis on Infinite Earths. Number 10. Joker's not dead. The Arrowverse have very strict guidelines which do change quite a lot of what they're allowed and not allowed to have. So the Joker has never been in the Arrowverse, but he was sort of in a cameo. The beginning of this mammoth TV show actually has cameos from other various DC properties. One of them is a cameo from 1989's Batman. You got Robert Wall playing Knox. He sat on a bench reading a newspaper where the headline says, "Batman catches Joker." I'm pretty sure the Joker died at the end of that film. I mean, that was a huge building he fell off, and he was lying there spread out going, The Joker's dead. Could have said any other villain, just not the Joker. Number 9, Kevin Conroy. If you grew up in the 90s, like I did, one of the best things, in fact, it is the best animated TV show, period, was the Batman animated TV series. Batman voiced by Kevin Conroy. He was perfect. He actually did distinguish between Bruce Wayne and Batman, and he was perfect at it. So when the news broke that Kevin Conroy was actually going to be in this, myself, millions of fans were like, yes! And he was. He played Bruce Wayne, and he played a very dark, very disturbed, battle-worn Bruce Wayne. It was brilliant. Except there was one thing that would have put the cherry on top of that cake, and that would have been if Kevin Conroy actually donned the Batman suit. How awesome that would have been! The internet would have got broken. It would have been fantastic. We never got it. I'm not taking away from Kevin Conroy's performance because it was brilliant, and he did lay the smackdown on Supergirl, which was fantastic. It's just a shame we never got to see him in the Batman suit because, yeah, that would have been brilliant. Number 7, Anti-Climatic Fight. So towards the end of episode 4, the Green Arrow has fully turned into the Spectre, and he is the one that is going to save the entire multiverse by taking on the Anti-Monitor. Now, if you've watched Arrow, something Stephen Amell is brilliant at is his fight sequences. He's fantastic. He's had 8 years for it. He did a brilliant spot on American Ninja, and he actually had it was a good wrestling match in a WWE SummerSlam. So you were expecting the Spectre and the Anti-Monitor to have this great fight? No. They just both stood there going, that was it. Now, Stephen Amell has publicly said it before in interviews that he's not a big fan of CGI fights. He prefers to get down. That is that actor's strength. You could have done something that played to his strengths. And yeah, this was kind of disappointing. Oh, this was a climactic battle. This was going to restart the universe. Everyone's dead, and 2 actors just stood there like that. It's not really enjoyable. It probably wasn't enjoyable for the actors, but that's what we got, and I was very disappointed. Number 7, another anticlimactic fight. So in the next episode, episode 5, the Anti-Monitor is not dead. He's back for another fight, and this time everyone, you've got Supergirl, The Flash, White Canary, God, you name them, they are there. Well, from the Arrowverse, there's no Batman or Superman. Actually, no, Superman was there. So you're going to expect a brilliant climactic fight? Not really. They're throwing everything they've got at him, and he's just stood there with a force shield. It's not going his way, so it grows even bigger, which makes him slow. So he's going, oh. This guy successfully, I might add, wiped out the entire multiverse. And this was the fight sequences. He had 2 fight sequences, both of them really naff. That's why the Anti-Monitor's fight sequences both get an entry on this list. Number 6, Shadow Demons. Now this was quite confusing because leading up to the second fight with the Anti-Monitor in episode 5 was all these Shadow Demons are appearing, the entire gang are fighting them, that's fine. And then they all disappear for the Anti-Monitor to appear. Why? Why couldn't the Anti-Monitor and the Shadow Demons be there at the same time? That might have actually negated the last entry on this list, but there was something just not quite right. It was missing something. It was like they didn't have the budget to have both on the screen at the same time. Number 5, No One Knows Me. Nobody loves me, everybody hates me, think I'll go and eat worms. Sorry, wrong thing. But this is a line, not the singing, but a line from episode 5 where White Canary saying to the Flash, I've got nothing here anymore. Nobody here knows me. Except your parents are still alive. I mean, your mum has never actually been described as dead. She was played by Alex Kingston in quite a few episodes of Arrow, and she's shown up when you've been there. You know she's alive, so she's still there. She's never been died. Now, your dad, Quentin Lance, yes, he had died. But in this brand new Earth Prime, which Oliver Queen created, your dad's now alive, as shown in the final episode of Arrow. Granted, that wasn't a part of Infinite Crisis, I'm sort of trying to stay away from that, but your dad is still alive. In fact, the only person that didn't come back was your sister. But you have got a sister, because she was a sister from another Earth, the old Earth 2, which is still gone. It does get confusing if you don't watch all the TV series, but the point still stands. You're saying no one here knows me when there's lots of people there that actually still know you. Number 4, Surprising Superman. At the start of episode 5, it is shown that the Paragons are the only people that know about the old Earths. Everyone else is oblivious, and this new Earth is the normal for them. Until Jean-Jo goes around and gives back their memories to certain people. Now, as I said, it was only the Paragons, which Superman was not a Paragon. Well, not their version of Superman. So why was he surprised that he's got 2 sons? Now, granted, at the beginning of this crisis, whatever you want to call it, in episode 1, he had 1 son. Now, at the end, he's got 2 sons, and he seemed surprised. But because he wasn't a Paragon, that would have been normal for him. Now, in the Superman and Lois TV series, his kids are teenagers, so he would have known everything. But I don't quite understand why he was surprised. It didn't really make sense. Not really. Number 3, White Canary. So in episode 5, Oliver Queen's gone, the Green Arrow's gone. Now, in every crossover, Oliver Queen is the leader. But in episode 5, he's gone. That's it. His story is over. Even though he had 2 more episodes in his TV series, that's a different matter. So you would assume the most logical person to take over this Justice League or Justice Society, they've never actually named it in the Arrowverse, would have been The Flash, because his was the second TV series. Except the White Canary took over. Why? Now, granted, she's not a bad leader, and she does lead a team in Legends of Tomorrow, but so does The Flash. He leads a team in The Flash. He's the person in charge of their team, and Supergirl, I would say she's not the leader. In fact, I would say more Jean-Jo's the leader. She's just there. Now, granted, she's taken a more leader role later seasons, but to start with, she's not the leader. So my money would have been on The Flash. Why White Canary? Any answers? Any theories? Number 2, missing the iconic cover. One of the things about the comic book series is the absolute iconic cover where Superman is carrying Supergirl's dead body. It's powerful, it's moving, it's brilliant artwork. So you would expect to see at least an Easter egg of that in this TV show, except you don't. You get an homage where Supergirl's carrying Superman's cape after Lex Luthor's sort of swapped him round, but you didn't actually get to see it. Now, you missed the trick here because you could have done something in the marketing to show that. It would have been brilliant. Tyler Hoechlin carrying Melissa Benoist's Supergirl would have been amazing, but you didn't do that. Especially as you knew Oliver Queen was dying, especially as you knew that the Flash was supposed to die in Crisis. That's been said since episode 1 of The Flash. So adding the extra thing of Supergirl's also going to die, you would actually be like, what's going to happen next? But you didn't, and which is a shame because it could have been something cinematic and something beautiful on the small screen. Number 1, show's ending. One of the outcomes of this whole 5-part miniseries was the merging of the Earths. So Supergirl's always been set on a different Earth, even so they've had crossovers where someone's crossed Earths. That was fine. They also brought in Black Lightning, who was on another Earth. That was fine. And at the end of this, they're all on the same Earth. So Flash, Arrow, Legends, Supergirl, Black Lightning, Batgirl, Batwoman even, are all on the same Earth. Great, you can actually now have a bigger crossover event next time or in a few years' time. Except, half these shows have now changed already. Now let me explain. Arrow, well granted Arrow was always going to finish. Arrow's story predominantly finished here. There was 2 more episodes after this. One was to set up a spin-off which didn't get picked up, and the other one was Oliver Queen's proper funeral. Very well done, so no issues there. But Supergirl finished off its series after this, and there's only has 1 more series. Same with Black Lightning. And the worst one? Batwoman. Ruby Rose then goes back and finished off her first series as Batwoman, then quits. So then now we've got another Batwoman in series 2 who doesn't actually know what's going on with what's happened here. There's too many changes. So basically everything you've done, all this hard work you've done, has just been ruined. Final thoughts. Now I'm trying not to be OTT on this because it's not a film. They don't have the budget that Marvel had for their 2-parter. I mean, Melissa Benoist actually said that Avengers Endgame's catering budget was the same what they had for these 5 episodes. I don't think that's true, but it's not that unbelievable. So with a limited budget, a stricter timescale, and a lot more stricter on how long these episodes could be, they actually did pull it off. What you have got is a very exciting story told over 5 nights. Now the first 3 episodes were in December, and then you had to wait 6 weeks for episodes 4 and 5. That was fine, they got that trick from Marvel. It worked. It also did up the ante on Marvels, because with Marvel, Thanos was only looking to wipe out half the life in the universe, whereas the Anti-Monitor was going to wipe out all life in every universe. And the difference is, both bad guys won. Everyone dies in this, which is amazing. Well, it's not, but it's a good thing. For something sitting out and watching it was a good thing to watch. Now, there are a couple of issues with pacing, and sometimes it doesn't flow as well, but that's because they're trying to cram so much in so short of a time. I reckon if their time constraints weren't as tight, it could have in depth make it more expansive a little bit more, but I also think that could have ruined it. So it's a tricky one. When it comes to TV, it's very different. When you're making a film, there's not that many restrictions on timings and stuff like that. You have your target, right, I want a film, it's 110 minutes. Oh, sorry, it's 150. I can live with that. With a TV, it has to be 42, 42, 42, that's it. TV episodes are 42 minutes to include adverts to make it to 1 hour. You gotta love American TV. But yeah, but ultimately it was good. It was a swan song for Oliver Queen. It was a shame Oliver Queen didn't get a send-up. He died in his TV show, but he died saving the entire multiverse. Also ties back to episode 1 of the Arrow where he becomes something else, which he does here. Now I do love the whole Arrowverse. I must admit I'd never watched Batwoman. The only issue I ever had, and this is because I'm in the UK, is when this was being broadcast, Batwoman was never broadcast, wasn't actually on. Now, Sky TV have the rights to most of it, they never got the rights to Batwoman. In fact, that went to a completely different channel, so it was very hard to watch Crisis over here in the UK. Now, I haven't put that on the list. I should have done, but I can understand it's very difficult. It worked in the US, it didn't work everywhere else in the world. What am I going to rank it? You know what, I'm not going to be overly harsh and take into consideration of the logistics of doing 6 different TV shows into 5 episodes. It was a good story, it was a very well thought story. All the cameos, seeing Brandon Routh ending Smallville, ending the animated series, seeing more for what happens on. Also seeing the 1966 Dick Grayson was fantastic. 8 out of 10 berries I'm going to give this. So if you haven't seen it, try and go and watch it. I mean, it's on Amazon Prime, or I think it's on Nail TV over here in the UK, or My 5 because of Batwoman. Go and watch it. I mean, in total, you're looking at about 3.5 hours long, which is the same length as Endgame. Go and watch it. It's highly recommended. It's highly enjoyable. And yeah. But let's get back to what I was originally doing. Come back Sunday for Endgame. Take care. Bye-bye.